From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, April the 6th, 2022. We open with some political upheaval in Israel. Knesset member from the Yamina party, Idit Silman, quit the coalition today, removing the coalition's majority and putting it at risk of collapse. Silman claimed in her resignation that some positions of the current government are harming Jewish identity in Israel. She most recently argued with Israel's health minister, Nitzan Horowitz, over Israel's Supreme Court ruling that hospitals could not prevent people from bringing in non-kosher for Passover food during the upcoming Passover holiday. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett tried to reassure the coalition that it will not fall apart. He was cited by the Times of Israel saying, "I spoke with all of the party leaders. Everyone wants to continue with this government. This government is working on behalf of the citizens of the country." Reports today that Israel's foreign ministry said it is considering sending some defensive gear to Ukraine, namely protective vests and flak jackets, which it has avoided doing so far as such items are considered military aid. Army Radio reported that the foreign ministry confirmed to them today that the issue is currently under discussion. Meanwhile, Defense Minister Benny Gantz and Foreign Minister Yair Lapid held a briefing today for 80 foreign ambassadors serving in Israel about the recent wave of terror attacks and about Ukraine, further clarifying Israel's position. The Foreign Ministry released a statement saying that Lapid provided the ambassadors with information on the humanitarian aid that Israel is providing to Ukraine and repeated Israel's condemnation of the Russian invasion and of war crimes which were exposed in recent days, as well as Prime Minister Bennett's mediation efforts with the goal of bringing an end to the fighting. The United Nations General Assembly, meanwhile, is set to hold a vote tomorrow on whether to suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights Council. The move is spearheaded by the United States in response to the photos and videos showing the reported killing of civilians in Bucha. And another flight of Ukrainian Jewish refugees landed at Ben Gurion Airport yesterday. The plane carrying 141 Ukrainian Jews had taken off from Hungary and was sponsored by the American Jewish Committee and organized by the Jewish Agency. AJC CEO David Harris said, "For Jews facing uncertain safety in their homes, Israel is a lifeline, a sanctuary, and a haven." Whether they are still living in Ukraine or have fled the violent Russian invasion to neighboring countries, these Jews know they have a home in the state of Israel, where they can build their lives anew because of the warm welcome they receive. Israel's Navy and the U.S. Fifth Fleet concluded a 10-day-long joint drill yesterday. Intrinsic Defender, the IDF noted, was the biggest joint exercise between the two to date, noting that for the first time, Israeli missile ships practiced refueling from an American replenishment tanker in the Red Sea. The Fifth Fleet wrote that the exercise focused on maritime security and medical support and other aspects of such operations, saying these exercises strengthen relationships and improve interoperability. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, April the 6th. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study. At 7:30, meet the young women breaking through the glass ceiling serving in the IDF. At 8, Shahar Azani visits Israel and meets with Ohad and Snir, members of Brothers for Life, an organization that offers support to wounded IDF soldiers and helps them choose life. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Anat Hoffman on L'chaim. At 10, Alice Shalvi talks about her life's journey. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, April the 6th, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.